Hello, my name is Gabriel Nadales, and I'm the National Director of Our America, a movement that is focused on uniting Americans, not as Republicans or as Democrats, but as Americans working for Our America. Joining today is Representative Mesha Mainor, who represents District 56 in the Georgia State House. Known for her decision to switch from the Democratic to the Republican Party, Representative Mainor has been a champion for school choice, public safety, and economic reform. Her focus remains on addressing the pressing issues that affect both her constituents in Atlanta and the broader Georgia community. Thank you for joining us.
I am so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, thank you. Now, Misha, Representative Mainor, you've made a significant political shift by switching parties. Can you share what led to this decision and how it reflects the challenges that you see for Atlanta as well as the Georgia as a whole?
Um, this was not a planned shift, if you would. When I was elected back in 2020, entering into office in 2021, I just realized there were several issues that I did not agree with the Democrat Party on. The very first one being there was a bill to help children with special needs. I'm a physical therapist, and so I did not understand why they did not want to help children with special needs. Excuse me. The next bill was a defund the police bill. No one in my community wanted to defund the police. So again, I voted against the Democrats on that bill. And most recently, it was the school choice bill, which we call the Georgia Promise Scholarship, that thankfully passed. They were against that, and it's for the lowest performing schools in the entire state of Georgia. Simple measures like that, I just did not understand. And it seemed like the things that can help our community the most are the things that they were completely against.
It seems to me that the reason you switched parties is not because of you or your personal beliefs, but it's because the people of your constituents. You were listening to what your constituents wanted. Now, as someone who has focused on education and public safety, what do you see as some of the most pressing issues affecting Georgia voters, particularly in the upcoming election?
I've been out canvassing. We're in the middle of an election, and the number one thing people are talking about is inflation, the cost of things. Even if they're business owners, they're saying, I'm doing the same amount of work, but I'm making less. I'm doing more work and I'm still making less. Everything is just too expensive. So, what I've been trying to um, give people information on one are all of the tax incentives that we've done as Republicans to put more money in people's pocket. Governor Kemp just made an announcement yesterday that there will be more tax rebates in the upcoming year for people to put more money in their pocket. We have incentives for small business owners. We have incentives for property owners. In addition to that, I created the Fulton Technology and Energy Authority, which basically says it's a workforce development arm that says let's put people back to work when it comes to more renewable energy and technology driven careers instead of the traditional workforce development careers. Not saying that anything is wrong with carpentry or plumbing, etc. But with the youth today, they are into the computer, so we need to be trying to give them some careers that they'll enjoy. That's been the main topic: affordable housing and just the cost of goods.
Fantastic. Now, polls show that a growing number of African Americans are considering their traditional political allegiances. What do you think is driving this shift, and how do you plan to address these concerns in your campaign?
I think it's almost like a perfect storm for me. When I was first elected, it was the middle of COVID. Everyone was at home, everyone was looking at the TV, and they were seeing what was going on with government. And, even in our schools, there are voters and citizens that were realizing, oh my goodness, I did not know that this is how the government worked and this is how it impacted my daily life. Just even consider there were cities that shut down, right? And so Georgia was one of the states that said, no, we're not going to shut down. Business needs to still go forward. So I think the shift started from there, and it is continuing because people are getting more involved. Just yesterday, I was canvassing and I was talking to a voter, and he said, we have a lot of people moving here from other places, but for the legacy residents, we are building capacity for people moving in. What about some tax exemptions for the legacy residents that have been here for a while. I represent a very historic Black community, and so they are being killed by the tax hikes when it comes to property. So I thought that was a wonderful idea. And so I'm just excited that people are more engaged and they want the information. And I think I'm the perfect representative because I love giving information.
That's great. Now, Atlanta has faced many challenges in recent years, from economic disparities and crime, some of which you mentioned here today. What are your top priorities to improve the lives of your constituents to support their American dream?
I think the first thing we have to do is just make sure people's civil and constitutional rights are upheld. And right now, one of the big things that I'm going to be pushing for next year, this is a situation that came to my attention. I was not aware of it, and now I'm a champion for it. We have detainees in our Fulton County Jail that should not be detained. The law says people are due a speedy trial. The law says you must be
Mhm.
indicted within a certain amount of time. The law says a lot of things, but our Fulton County District Attorney is not doing those things. People are literally sitting in our Fulton County Jail for years without an indictment. And so that must stop immediately. And stay tuned because I'll be doing a huge press conference soon to talk about how we're going to address that.
Oh, fantastic. Now, thank you for joining us. Is there anything that you would like to add before we close?
I see you have my website up, so just check me out if you want to know more about what I'm doing. If you want to volunteer for the movement, donate to the movement. All help is always needed, but we're really just out here trying to be the voice for the people. And for me, it's people over politics. No party is perfect.